Grief already makes the world unbearable. But imagine watching your son, your only surviving child, frozen in terror. 6 police guns aimed at his chest, all because an HOA president decided your family's funeral was suspicious. She thought she was enforcing neighborhood rules. She didn't realize the boy she was endangering was burying his soldier brother. And she certainly didn't know the mother standing beside him was me, Alexandra Pierce, Attorney General of the United States. What happened next would turn a neighborhood squabble into a national headline and teach a tyrant that no HOA bylaw stands taller than the Constitution. 2 weeks earlier, tragedy had split my life in two. My eldest son, Jamie Pierce, had been killed in action overseas. He was 24, old enough to serve, yet still my little boy in my heart. His last letter home had been clear. If anything happened to him, he wanted to rest beneath the oak tree on our land, the same tree he climbed as a child, where his laughter once echoed through summer skies. We owned 5 acres of land, long before this neighborhood or its HOA ever existed. The property was legally recognized as a family cemetery since 1979, something every neighbor knew or should have known. The morning of the burial, the air was thick with sorrow and dignity. A small circle of family and friends gathered, heads bowed, eyes red, hearts heavy. A chaplain spoke, his voice trembling in the wind. I clutched the folded flag they handed me, and its weight was heavier than every law book I had ever carried into court. My younger son, Noah, only 16, stood beside me. He wore his brother's Boy Scout jacket, the sleeves drowning his thin arms, but he wore it like armor. His lips quivered, yet he stood proud, holding a bundle of white lilies. Everything was silent, reverent, sacred, until it wasn't. A sharp voice sliced through the quiet. "What do you people think you're doing?" Heads turned. At the edge of our property stood Patricia Lawson, president of the HOA, sun visor strapped to her forehead like a crown of arrogance. Her arms were crossed, lips curled in disgust. "You can't just plant bodies wherever you want. This isn't a cemetery. This is HOA land, and I won't allow it." I felt my jaw tighten. It is a cemetery, filed and exempt since 1979. This is private family land. Patricia waved her phone with a smirk. "Well, we'll see what the sheriff thinks about this little cult ritual." I should have expected what came next. Within minutes, red and blue lights cut across the oak branches. 3 squad cars screeched to a halt. Doors slammed. Officers poured out, weapons drawn. "Hands where we can see them." 6 guns, all pointed at my 16-year-old son. Noah froze, still clutching the lilies. "Step back from the boy," one officer shouted. The flowers fell from his hands, scattering like broken feathers on the grass. Noah's arms shot into the air. His lip trembled. He was too young to process what was happening, but old enough to know guns kill. And there he was, standing in the crosshairs of 6 deputies because Patricia had decided grief looked like crime. Behind them, I saw Patricia smirking, phone camera aimed, relishing the chaos she had created. I forced myself calm. My years in court had taught me control, even when fire burned inside. "Officers," I said clearly, raising my hand so every body cam caught it. "This is a lawful burial on private land. Holster your weapons." Patricia stormed forward. "Don't listen to her. She's breaking HOA rules. They're planting bodies illegally. Arrest them." The lead deputy hesitated, shifting his aim from Noah to me. "Ma'am, we received a report of suspicious activity involving a child and an unlawful grave. That child is my son, I replied, my voice sharp as steel. That grave belongs to his brother, a United States soldier who died in uniform. You are pointing weapons at his family in the middle of a lawful funeral. Still, they didn't lower their guns. Patricia grinned wider, arms folded like she had already won. I took a slow step forward, then reached into my bag. My heart thundered, but my hand was steady. I pulled out my badge and held it high. Attorney General Alexandra Pierce, United States Department of Justice. The effect was immediate. The deputy's eyes widened. 2 lowered their guns, then 3 more. The last one held on for a beat, hand shaking, before finally holstering. Patricia's smirk faltered. Attorney General? What does that have to do with HOA authority? I locked eyes with her. Everything. Noah clung to my sleeve, trembling but safe. The air shifted. The officers realized what they had done, aimed loaded weapons at the Attorney General's unarmed son during a lawful funeral. Body cams rolling? I asked. Yes, ma'am, the lead deputy muttered, his face flushed. Good. Then let the record show. This boy was unarmed on private land during a lawful funeral, and 6 officers pointed weapons at him based on a false report. That constitutes aggravated assault, abuse of police resources, and a violation of civil rights. Patricia gasped. You're not serious? I'm the HOA president. I stepped closer, my voice sharp as a blade. HOA rules do not trump the Constitution. They do not give you the right to harass grieving families or endanger children. What you've done is criminal harassment, false reporting, and reckless endangerment of a minor. The lead deputy turned to Patricia. Ma'am, we're going to need your ID. Her visor trembled. She fumbled through her purse, finally handing it over. The deputy's jaw tightened as he read her name. Patricia Lawson, you are being charged with harassment, false police reporting, and reckless endangerment of a minor. Patricia's face went pale. No, you can't. I'm the HOA president. I folded my arms. You're a criminal. Neighbors had gathered by now, phones recording every second. The same woman who strutted around writing citations for lawn lengths and mailbox colors now stood handcuffed, visor crooked, reputation crumbling in real time. The deputies led her away, and her protest faded into the sound of squad car doors slamming. Noah collapsed against me, tears soaking my jacket. I stroked his hair, whispering, "It's over. You're safe." News traveled fast. By the next morning, the video had gone viral. HOA president arrested at soldier's funeral. Networks replayed the footage of Patricia smirking while officers aimed guns at Noah, only to end with her in handcuffs. Politicians called. Veterans groups rallied behind our family. Strangers sent letters of support. But what mattered most to me was the peace I finally saw in Noah's eyes when we returned to his brother's grave, this time without interruption. He knelt, laid the lilies gently across the headstone, and whispered, "Rest easy, Jamie." For the first time in weeks, I saw my son breathe freely. Patricia's case didn't end at the arrest. As Attorney General, I recused myself to avoid conflict, but the charges carried weight. False reporting, reckless endangerment, harassment. The state pressed forward. Patricia's own neighbors testified. Years of harassment, petty fines, intimidation. The HOA board quickly voted her out. She wasn't just stripped of power, she was exposed. The gavel fell, and Patricia Lawson learned that when you weaponize fear against grieving families, the law will weaponize itself against you. Jamie's grave rests beneath the oak tree now, just as he wanted. The grass grows soft, the wind sings through the branches, and Noah visits often. Our family is still healing. Grief never truly leaves, but neither does love. And in the end, love is stronger than fear, stronger than HOA bylaws, even stronger than death. Because while Patricia tried to turn our mourning into a crime, my son taught me the greatest truth. Even in the face of guns, the strength of family cannot be broken. And as Attorney General, I vowed one thing: never again will my child or anyone's child be caught in the crosshairs of arrogance and abuse of power.